Hey guys, Tony Hill here, making sense of credit. How you doing? Yep. Well, hey, if this is your first time with me, thanks for being here to my channel, my YouTube channel. Appreciate it. This is actually the second installment of the new year, 2019. Um, if you caught my video earlier, I did one on credit repair, and this is kind of the second of three, and this is going to be about small businesses. And also, I got my little cheat sheet here, but I just want to give you some good content and something you can use. And then my third one's going to be on mortgages, because I know once again, everybody makes New Year's resolution. People want to repair their credit. They want to start a small business, and they want a new house. They want to get a mortgage. So once again, making sense of credit. This is all about credit. Thanks for being here with me. Before I get going, you know what to do. Like this video if you like it. Also, please share with your friends and family. Also, comment, good or bad. I can take it. It's going to help me. Then also make sure you subscribe to my channel for more great content ahead. And then also hit that little bell so you can get notified of new content that I bring out. So once again, thanks for being here with me. Once again, my name is Tony Hill. Let's just dive right in. Let's talk about small business. I know everyone wants to, start a small business. Everybody's talked about it, dreamed about it, whatever. Work your own hours, and I get it. And I've had a small business ever since. I'm trying to think my first small business, which was a credit repair company. It was I want to say in 91, 92. Yeah, a long time ago. But, once again, things have changed. And so I'm going to walk you through some of the things you can do now and some of the things to look out for, the do's and don'ts, pros and cons of small businesses that will help you along the road if you plan on starting a small business in 2019. First of all, whether you notice or not, there are a lot of banks. I think my last time I did mine was with, I did another business, and it was in 2000 with US Bank. But banks started to offer a service where they have first of all, I would say, instead of going to the Department of Commerce, start by visiting several banks. I think I went into US Bank, and they had a business banker. And most banks do have a business banker. And actually, if you have your business name or what you want to do, you can actually go in to that lender, tell them that you name your business, and they'll pretty much help you do the rest. Go on the site, whatever state that you're in, and get you registered, and even be able to give you a federal tax number, EIN, as you know it, instead of your Social Security number. So I would say start there. Start by going to one of the banks, and maybe you have a bank that you use already, and ask for the business banker and help you set up your small business, and get it registered. So that would be my first thing. Most businesses, depending on the business that you're in, is going to have a registration fee for the year, and that's a fee that you pay every year. Actually, it's funny because I call a lot of businesses to get them back in business, and because they aren't aware of they're basically kind of out of trust with their business because they forgot to pay, and some don't even know that they that they have to pay every year, but you have to pay every year, and then to get your business, especially back in good standings. So I would say start there. A couple other things that you may want to know is that it's been said that 82% of the businesses fail, and the reason they fail is because they don't have adequate cash flow. So it's important to make sure you have adequate cash flow. And I would say my first video, which started about talking about personal credit, I would say make sure before you start your business to have your personal credit together, because if not, you're going to go through some bumps along the road in getting financing for your business. It's going to be a tough road. So I would say start there. The reason being because as you start your new business, one thing that's going to happen, most lenders, and not always, but most lenders, they're going to want to see your business in business from, season at about 2 years. You'll get most of your lending or better lending when your business is 2 years old. But there are exceptions. There are many new lenders online that actually will, you can look this up and actually Google it. There are many other lenders out there now that will actually give you funding based on your, what you take in a month, what your revenue is per month. It's 5,000-10,000. But most new businesses are going to have a hard time generating that type of resume. So a lot of times you're going to be counting on the age of your business. Now, one thing you can do to circumvent that, you can buy an existing business that's aged, that's in your field or what you want to do. Let's say if you were going to be in a paint business or a credit repair business, you can buy a business that's 2+ years old, and then you won't have to worry about the business being 2 years or older. And once again, there are other exceptions. Another exceptions to your business being 2 years old is if you have stellar credit. So if you have really good credit, you can be a guarantor on some of these loans. So once again, first of all, you're going to need a business card or a business line of credit if you're going to be functioning your small business. You're definitely going to do that. But you can go on even if your business, and some will, some won't. Most of the times, it's going to be tough for you to get funding with your typical bank, a large bank or community bank or even credit union if they want to see that 2-year seasoned business. But you can go on. You can go to. There are some other business cards that you can get that they're very laxed on that. Long as you personal guarantee. Put your personal information as the guarantor on those loans or business cards. You do have that option. But I would say, once again, start slowly, but really make sure your personal credit is in good shape before you open up your business, because otherwise you're going to have a tough time. Also, to know the different banks. Look, at the end of the day, large banks are a lot tougher. They typically only approve about 24-25% of people of small businesses. Community banks are the best. Community banks approve anywhere from 49 to 54% of business loans. They're the best. And then credit unions are the second best. They're a little tougher than community banks because once again, they're typically smaller. But they have about a 40 and under approval rating. But community banks are the best. Small local community banks are the best. So realize who you're going in to see. Also, too, if you stay with me to the end of this video, I'm gonna have an incredible credit hack for you on the small business side of things that most people don't know. And I'll have a couple items for you if you stay with me to the end of this video. Also, too, what you want to do when you start a small business, you want to understand that when you open a small business, there are things that you want to have in place. So I see, I find people all the time and they go, well, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this. Look, first of all, I would never advise anyone to do a sole proprietorship or a partnership, because typically those things are going to fall on your personal. And I remember years ago, probably 25, 30 years ago, when I went to a seminar, I thought I was all Mr. Big Business. And I walked in this class and I found out that, the worst thing you can do is have a sole proprietorship where I started out, because once again, you don't want anything to come home to roost to your personal, to you and your family, you and your wife, whatever the case may be. You want to be able to anything that, if it's going to be a liability, make sure the liability is on your business, not on you personally. So make sure you're aware of that. I would suggest that you incorporate your business um, form an LLC, limited liability company, or incorporate your business. One of the two, once again, it'll go to your business. Also, too, you must have a business bank account. You know, I don't care. When you go in to see that business banker, open up a business bank account. And I would say, you know, if you don't have a lot of money, find a bank that don't require a large down payment, you know, a large deposit. You know, a lot of these small business banks or banks, for a small business, they require a minimum of $1,000 down. And there's so many things out there that you can circumvent that. And then also, I know a lot of them, they even have, a lot of these banks have a $250 deposit for opening up an account. So once again, you need a small business account. Otherwise, you're not in business, and no one will take you serious. That's important. Also, you gotta have a business phone number. Do not use your personal phone number. That's a killer, because once again, if you go to get funding, when that lender calls and you pick up the phone, once again, it's almost a disqualifier. Very few, unless you got an 800 credit score, but most lenders aren't going to loan you money. So make sure you have a business number. There's a Grasshopper. I used to no longer use them, but you know, I think you can get 3 lines signing up with them. That's a business line. And also you can use your phone off your regular number. So sign up with them. And there's many others out there you can use to have a business number, but please don't use your personal number, because that's going to hurt you when it comes time to get financing. Also, too, make sure you have your business cards with your company name on it. And then the other thing too, I would really try to establish 5 lines of credit, and that's called vendor credit. And you know, some of the easy ones you can use are like Office Depot. My best one to use is Sam's Club. You know, and once again, they typically give you vendor credit very easily, and also they're one of the easiest to get a business credit card. You know, and I've seen them. I send my clients there who I do small business with, and they'll generally start about $2,500 and up. So Sam's Club is a great one to use. Costco's a little different. They require higher credit scores, but I would say start with Sam's Club. And one of the things to do when you start out, make sure you pay all your bills on time. That's gonna be very crucial starting out your new business. So I would say make sure you take care of that. Another thing that you have to begin to know, and you're gonna be way ahead of the game, hopefully because of this YouTube video, is that 75% of business owners, you can go ask them, you just walk around and say, hey, do you know what your business score is? 75% of businesses who are operating don't even know that they have a business score, which is insane to me. It's insane. But the thing about it is that because you watch this and you're starting your small business, you can be proactive in starting your business score. Once again, there's an Experian, there's an Equifax, and then there's something called Duns & Bradstreet. And once again, look them up. Look up Duns & Bradstreet, which is the biggest, which most businesses who are extending business credit, they operate on Duns & Bradstreet. So I would say make sure you understand that. Know what a Paydex score is and that sort of thing. I won't get into that because it will take me too long, but understand your business score. I mean, a good Paydex score is a 75, and I think it goes up to 100, and a 75, 80 is equivalent to a 700 personal credit score. So it's good to have that. Anything under 65 and under, you aren't going to get financing for your company. So make sure you research that. Duns & Bradstreet. Also, Experian has a score. Equifax has a score. You can research those and figure out how those goes. But Duns & Bradstreet is going to be your biggest. And for the most part, Experian, and then some other lenders use Equifax also. And actually, depending on where you are in the country, Equifax is huge too. So they all equally as important. But understand and know what your business score is. If you've had a business, you can actually research and see if Dun & Bradstreet actually assigned a business, a paydex score to you, because you may have a paydex. One thing I discourage is do not sign up for a free DUNS number, because it's going to rate as DS, which is like, is not good. And if you have a DS on your Dun & Bradstreet, you won't be able to get funding. So make sure I think Dun & Bradstreet, they have a program you can get on, and it's not cheap. I think it's like $1,500 or something, and it might be a little cheaper. But once again, you can get one once you get, and they'll help you get 5 vendor credit, which is not business card credit, but vendor credit. Office Max, Home Depot, Sam's Club, those type of vendor credits, vendor credit that you can get to get your paydex score. So that's important. But you know what? Know what a business score is if somebody asks you. And then, because at some point, once your business age and you're doing good things and you're making revenue and your business is thriving, you can obtain credit without personal guaranteeing the loan or the business card, and that's going to be great for you, because that way, once again, we talk about if your business failed, that things don't come home to roost on you personally, on you and your family. So that way, once you get established, you get a business score, you can have all your credit and all those things in your business name only, not your personal. That's important to know. Also, too, I want to share this with you. One thing you want to realize is that when you have a lack of cash, it's going to hamstring you substantially. So it's important that you have different types of business line of credit that you can tap into, because most people think that I can do this without out credit. That's not the case. You're going to need to float for emergency things. You won't participate and anticipate different variables that come up that'll affect your business. Hiring a new person, a big client, all those sort of things. So I would say get the business credit, even if you don't need it. You know what? Have it in your back pocket. You got a B of A line or a Amex line or whatever, Chase line, whatever it may be. Have it for emergencies, even if you don't use it. And my thing is too is that, look, I think it's absolutely ridiculous not to have a business card right now, because they have so many perks on them. Airlines, cash back. If you ever seen a commercial about the guy with the Spark card from Capital One, and he said, I give my employees health insurance because of my cash back from my Spark card. So guys, it's ridiculous not to have that. All those things that you would use, that you pay cash with, you might as well get cash back. And I think the one guy in the commercial, he got like $36,000 a year. So it's ridiculous for you not to have a business card because of all the airline perks and cash back perks. I mean, just think if you spend X amount of dollars and come to find out you get $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 at the end of the year. That's huge. So and these are based on things that you normally do anyway. Your water bill, the expenses, all the things that you use on a daily basis anyway. You might as well it's basically like getting paid for them. So I would say make sure you take advantage of those. Also too, a couple things too when you starting out. You have to make relationships with bankers. The easy and best way to go down this road is when you go, whether you sign up with that banker or you do it on your own. And I would say, you know what, yeah, you can go to the Department of Commerce and do all of that yourself, but I would say start with a business banker. If you already have one, good, or if you already have a bank that you have a good relationship with, great. Get to know these folks, build that relationships. It's like, sowing seeds, and it grows and grows. So at the period of time, a year, 2, 3, 4 years down the road, you had a great relationship with these people. Once again, it's going to be very easy to get, funding and financing with these folks. But, really making your relationship with these people is huge. So I would say continue to do that on a daily basis. Walk in and say hello. Bring them donuts or cookies or whatever the case may be. Always realizing that you work in that, that relationship, because at some point you're going to need something for your business. Also, too, when you're looking at business financing, and I kind of mentioned that I was going to give you a credit hack too. So when you're looking at business finance, the thing about it is that these people that say, "Oh, I'm going to pay for cash," blah blah blah, and they use their debit cards. Here's the most incredible credit hack, and I'm in this video on business, and I'll follow up with some other stuff, but it's going to be too long. It'll probably take me an hour to cover this, but this is for the new year, your New Year's resolution. So hopefully you can take away some of this to get started today. But one of the things that you want to make sure you're aware of, when you use your business debit card, if you have something fraudulent, somebody steals your information or they use that number, or whatever the case may be, remember that debit cards are not covered under fraudulent use. They're not. And business credit cards are. That's a great credit hack. So make sure you get you a business credit card, because then anything that's fraudulent use is covered. So, all right. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Start that small business, whatever it is. Walk into a banker and say, "I want to start my business." And even if you just got the name, they'll walk you through it. So Tony Hill signing off. Until next time, we'll see you. My next video is going to be on mortgages. I know everybody wants a new mortgage, so follow me on my next video. And there will be many more after that. So, but once again, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to this video. Until next time, Tony Hill.